the YSL thing. They not shining a light on YFN. Not saying that they did tell or they didn't tell.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If they go to digging, it's gonna be something different there too, probably. I ain't saying it is, I'm just saying assuming.
I mean, Lucci has had some big records over the years, but he just never had the sort of like cult fan base that Thug had, or YSL as a whole had.
Lucci don't attract that crowd. Lucci don't get on the internet and pretend to be something he ain't.
So they tried to take you out in retaliation.
Nah, man. Taking somebody out, it's not hard. Just pull up and do them, especially somebody like me. I'm on the block. I'm out there. People ride by like, dude, man, standing. Yes, I'm standing right here.
Young Thug and YFN Lucci just walked out the gates, finally free, right? These two been locked in a war for years. Real lives lost, families torn apart, the whole Atlanta scene shook to the core. And what's the first thing they do when they both touch down? They hit the same club, hugged up like nothing ever happened, laughing like the past decade didn't spill blood in the streets. But here's where it gets wild. While Thug and Lucci's out here acting cool, there's one man who ain't rocking with this so-called peace. Lil Woody. Yeah, that Lil Woody, the one who allegedly did serious work for YSL, the same dude people whispered took out Peanut and somehow never saw a day behind bars.
He rap about his lifestyle. So he not attracting the wrong people. Thug started attracting the wrong people when he started saying gonna rat. So now he don't grew that fan base, the I hate rats fan base. So when you let them down, because clearly, they know what a rat is.
Now the word is Woody's fuming, talking crazy, and the streets buzzing that this so-called truce might blow up any second.
Too much going on. Yeah, I can't, because she keep asking me these questions and
Things could get real dangerous again, fast. Let's really break this down right now. To understand why Lil Woody is losing it, we gotta rewind and look at how deep this YSL versus YFN war truly ran. This wasn't no internet drama or sneaky shade thrown in lyrics. Nah, this was real street warfare that had Atlanta locked down tight for nearly a whole decade. The city couldn't even breathe without feeling that tension. See, Young Thug and YFN Lucci, they weren't always enemies, believe it or not. At one point, these two were cool, vibing in the same Atlanta rap circles, getting money, dropping hits, and building their names side by side. But somewhere along the way, all that brotherhood flipped into one of the craziest and most violent feuds the rap game ever witnessed in the South. And right in the middle of it all was Lil Woody, the one people say was Thug's alleged shooter.
Can we continue?
I don't got nothing else to say.
Didn't you get the gun?
Huh?
Why didn't you go and give them the gun?
You think it help them lock me up?
I say alleged because you already know the legal stuff, but the streets, they've been whispering the truth for years. Woody was YSL to the bone, loyal, locked in, and always ready to ride for the crew at a moment's notice. According to what came out during that YSL RICO trial, Woody wasn't just hanging around, he was allegedly knee-deep in some heavy street moves. The wildest claim, that he allegedly took out a dude named Peanut, and this wasn't some random street drama either. It was all part of that deadly back and forth between YSL and YFN, where bodies were dropping and the city felt every hit. The feds were tuned in, watching every move, and things were spinning out of control fast. But here's what made it even crazier. Woody never did time for it. Somehow he beat the case, walked out free, and kept living like nothing happened. Meanwhile, Thug and YFN Lucci both got caught in the storm, snatched up on RICO charges when the feds finally decided to shut the whole thing down. The game changed overnight, and everyone in Atlanta felt the shift. Both camps got slammed hard. Thug staring down a life sentence, Lucci looking at decades behind bars, and the streets buzzing, waiting to see who would crack first. But that's when things took a wild turn. Both Thug and Lucci, sitting in those cold prison cells, fighting for their lives in court, started to see things differently. That same war that tore families apart, claimed lives, and put them both in chains, it finally hit them that none of it was worth it anymore. Thug eventually took a plea deal after one of the longest, most intense trials Georgia ever seen. Lucci managed to work out his own deal too, and just like that, one by one, they both touched back down. When word hit the streets, Everyone froze, eyes glued to social media, wondering what was next. Would the beef pick right back up? Would it get bloody the second they both breathed free air again? The tension was unreal, and the city waited to see if peace was real or just a calm before another storm. Nobody saw this coming. What happened next shocked everybody. A video dropped online that had the whole internet frozen. Young Thug and YFN Lucci, not just in the same club, but actually chilling together, laughing, dapping each other up, and vibing like long-lost brothers reunited after years of chaos. People couldn't believe it. For some, it was powerful to see. Real growth. Two men who'd been through fire and pain finally realizing life's too short for endless violence. Atlanta needed that kind of moment, and so did the culture. It felt like healing was finally possible, but not everyone saw it that way. For Lil Woody, that video hit like a punch to the chest. To him, this wasn't peace, it was betrayal, straight disrespect to everything he ever stood on. And Woody, he didn't bite his tongue for a second. He let his feelings fly, loud and clear for the whole city to hear. He pulled up on DJ Vlad's platform and let everything out. The moment Woody sat down, you could feel the heat coming off him. He wasn't there to play nice. Vlad brought up that viral video of Thug and Lucci in the club, smiling like best friends, saying how great it was for Atlanta, how maybe both camps could finally move past the drama and start making real money together. Woody didn't hesitate for a second. Vlad asked, "You got a problem with that?" And Woody snapped right back, "You damn right." Then he unleashed it all. No filter, no pause. He said, "Why y'all ain't do this from the start? Why did we have to lose so much for y'all to finally realize y'all could just chase the bag? Y'all could have squashed this way back. It could have united long ago." Every word dripped with anger and pain. It wasn't just frustration. It was betrayal, pouring out live for the world to see. You could hear the pain in Woody's voice. It was real, raw, and heavy. He wasn't just talking, he was hurting out loud. He spoke about the people sitting in cells for life behind this beef, families still shattered, and all the young guys who either lost their lives or ended up behind bars because of this war. And now, seeing Thug and Lucci laughing together like nothing ever happened, it hit him deep. Woody didn't stop there. He kept it 100. He said, "I come from this environment. I didn't want to go to war with people. I didn't want enemies. We was friends once." Then he dropped the real sting. "Lucci ain't no enemy to me, but y'all so selfish that y'all showed the world just how selfish y'all really are." Every word cut sharp. It wasn't just anger, it was betrayal, disappointment, and truth all tangled up in one explosive moment.
At any point in time, did you ever get arrested for shooting back at those individuals?
Thank God.
And when you say putting pressure, what do you mean?
Same thing you doing to me now. You keep putting pressure on me.
This one hit different, because Woody was exposing the truth the culture never wants to face. These rap beefs, they don't just hurt the rappers flashing chains on camera. It's the ones in the trenches, the shooters, the soldiers, the people really risking it all who pay the ultimate price. They're the ones catching the heat, losing their freedom and burying friends, while the big names eventually move on. So when the bosses call a truce, what happens to everybody who already gave up everything for that war? That's the part nobody talks about. But then Woody dropped a straight bombshell that shook the room. He said this whole thing didn't even need to happen because before it all went left, he already tried to make peace. Woody claimed he had real conversations with Young Thug about ending the beef. He told him straight up, "Man, this ain't about nothing. I'm gonna go talk to them dudes and squash this." He wanted peace from the jump, but nobody listened. According to Woody, the wild part is the other side was actually down to talk. They weren't scared, they were just ready for peace. Everybody knew the real money in Atlanta came from building together, not tearing each other apart. But instead of choosing that path, things exploded into a full-blown street war that left scars all over the city. Now, after all the chaos, the deaths, the long prison bids, the families still grieving, now they want to be cool? Woody wasn't having it. He said it straight. "Y'all in the club partying, acting like it's all love just 'cause y'all went to trial and everybody flipped on y'all. Man, come on." That line hit hard. It called out everything fake about the so-called reunion. And that's when people online started connecting the dots, putting pieces together, digging deeper, and suddenly the whole story got way messier than anyone expected. Things weren't adding up, and the whispers started turning into straight-up suspicion. Vlad brought up something that had been floating in everybody's mind ever since that club video dropped. How could Thug and Lucci really be cool again after everything that went down? People hadn't forgotten that Lucci's mom allegedly got shot at during the peak of the YSL YFN war. That's not small stuff, that's family. So Vlad asked the question out loud, how you gonna be cool with somebody after they allegedly had your mama shot at? Woody's response was sharp, calm, but heavy. He said the first time Lucci's mom's house got sprayed up, Lucci was in Tampa on a promo tour. Right before he hit the stage, he got that call. About 15 shots fired at his mother's home. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but still, that's your mama, that's personal. Then Woody reminded everyone about a song Thug dropped around that time. He quoted the line, "I shot at his mommy, now he don't mention me." The crowd went crazy hearing that connection, but Woody played it smooth. He said Thug never mentioned any names directly. Still, the timing, the lyrics, and the street whispers had everybody thinking the same thing. That one lyric had the internet losing its mind. People instantly connected the dots and assumed Thug was throwing shots at Lucci, no question about it. But Woody came through with some real talk. He said from what he knows, Thug himself never shot at nobody's mama. If it went down, someone else handled it. Still, Woody made it clear, in street politics, that don't matter. If you're the boss, the one calling shots, you're held accountable for what your crew does. That's just how the streets operate. Your team's actions are your responsibility. So when the world saw Thug and Lucci smiling together after everything, the alleged family shootings, the deaths, the courtroom battles, it didn't look real. It looked like business, not brotherhood. Woody wasn't fooled for a second. He said it plain and honest. I don't got nothing against Lucci, and I love Thug. I don't got nothing against neither one of them, but I just don't like the simple fact of how they handled this situation. You could feel it. Woody wasn't speaking out of hate, he was speaking out of hurt. For Woody, there's a big difference between squashing beef and being best friends. He said if Thug and Lucci came home, shook hands, and agreed to stop the violence, that alone would have been huge. But hanging out together like nothing ever went down, that's a whole different story. He broke it down real clear. You think I'm about to hang out with someone we've been out here going at? You feel me? Nah, man, that's not how this works. It's not about hate, but it's definitely not about pretending everything is cool either. And ever since that interview dropped, the fallout's been insane. The streets are split right down the middle over this whole situation. On one side, you got folks saying Thug and Lucci did the right thing. They grew up, learned from all that chaos, and finally chose peace over bloodshed. They see it as two men maturing, realizing life's too short to keep living in war mode. But not everyone's feeling that vibe, and the tension's only getting louder. A lot of people are saying this is exactly what hip-hop needs right now. Less beef, more unity, and more money being made instead of blown on lawyers, bail, and funerals. They're pointing out that both Thug and Lucci went through pure hell behind bars. They faced RICO charges that could have easily ended their careers and their freedom for life. They watched people they trusted turn on them in court, testifying just to save themselves. Both of them lost close friends, brothers, and people they loved because of this war. So if after all that they can find a way to put the past behind them and move forward, some say, who are we to judge? But then you got the other side, people like Woody, who see it completely different. They're saying it's flat out disrespectful to everyone who already paid the ultimate price. There are dudes serving life sentences right now because of this beef. There are mothers who buried their sons because of it. For them, forgiveness doesn't come that easy.
And guess what, y'all? I'm going to tell y'all about one person. I'm going to show y'all this picture. I'm going to tell y'all about one person. And some people I already know. Before I show his picture, they already know who I'm finna show.
You got families that will never be whole again. Empty seats at dinner tables, memories that still hurt, and now the same leaders who started it all just acting like none of it ever happened. The street's been loud about this one. Social media going crazy, people arguing in the comments, dropping hot takes left and right. Some folks calling Woody a straight-up hater, while others saying he's the only one brave enough to keep it real and speak what everyone else too scared to say. But here's where it starts getting real dangerous. Woody's been talking reckless, naming names, breaking down street politics on public platforms, and that kind of talk can come with serious consequences. Think about it, fam. He's basically saying out loud that the so-called peace treaty between YSL and Lucci ain't real. It's fake energy for the cameras. And on top of that, he's calling it straight disrespect to everyone who ever put in work and suffered behind this war. That kind of message, it can light a fuse that's hard to put out. He's straight up calling out the top dogs for being selfish. And in the world of street politics, that kind of talk can spark fires people thought were long gone. And Woody ain't no random voice online running his mouth. This is somebody who was allegedly deep in the trenches, someone who, according to the streets, really put in work and earned his name the hard way. When Woody speaks, people pay attention, because his words carry real weight out there. So what does all this mean for hip-hop and street culture right now? Let's break it down. This whole situation pulls the curtain back on a truth nobody likes to talk about. When the bosses go to war, it's the soldiers, the ones on the front lines who do the fighting, the risking, and the dying. But when the bosses call a truce, it's those same soldiers who get left behind, forgotten like they never mattered. The people who lost the most rarely get peace, even when the war is over. That's the part that hits hardest. They're still living with the pain, still locked up, still watching their backs, still carrying the trauma, while the ones who sparked the war have moved on like nothing ever happened. Woody's speaking for all those dudes who can't just flip a switch and act cool. He's representing the ones who put everything on the line, who allegedly took lives, lost brothers, and now have to live with that weight forever. You can't just erase that kind of history with a handshake and a photo in the club. And the second part of this, man, it cuts deep. It shows just how complicated loyalty really is in street politics. Woody's loyal to Thug, he said it with love and respect, but that same loyalty is what's making him question Thug's every move right now. That's real internal conflict. Imagine riding for someone through the worst of it, risking everything, and then watching them make choices that go against what you stood for together. That kind of situation leaves you torn. What do you even do when loyalty starts to hurt? Third, this whole situation exposing something major about how we consume hip-hop beef like it's just another show. For people on the outside looking in, seeing Thug and Lucci together feels powerful. It looks like growth, maturity, something positive for the culture. But for the ones who lived through it, who lost friends, who buried family, who sat in courtrooms or behind bars because of it, it hits completely different. We forget sometimes that behind every rap beef are real lives and real consequences. It's not just music, not just entertainment for the timeline. People really die behind this. Folks really go to prison, lose family, lose everything, chasing loyalty and pride. So when peace finally comes around, it's never that simple for the ones who paid the heaviest price. And right now, the tension is thick, real thick. Lil Woody done aired it all out on a huge platform, and millions have already heard him question whether Thug and Lucci's so-called peace is even real. That interview's everywhere, getting chopped up, reposted, debated non-stop on social media. And the wildest part? Thug and Lucci both been silent. No public response, no statements, nothing. So the big question now, what happens next? They haven't said a single word back. No statements, no interviews, nothing. Thug and Lucci just keep moving how they've been moving. Maybe they feel like speaking on it would only make the situation blow up even more. Or maybe they figure Woody's entitled to his own opinion and they're just gonna focus on their freedom, their money, and their peace. But here's the thing, fam. In street politics, silence don't always mean peace. Some people might look at it as maturity, like they've outgrown the chaos and just want to move on. But others, they see it different. They see that silence as straight up disrespect, like the bosses don't care how the ones who fought for them, sat in cells or lost everything feel about it. And that's where it gets dangerous. When one person, especially someone respected like Lil Woody, publicly calls the peace fake and disrespectful, it can light a spark in others who've been holding in the same anger. That type of energy can wake up old wounds and make people who were quiet start moving again. And that's when things get unpredictable. there might be more YSL members quietly agreeing with Woody, but holding back from saying it out loud. Now that he's broken the silence, some of them might start speaking up too. And that's exactly how old beefs come back to life. It starts small. One person voices their frustration, a few others co-sign, and before anyone realizes it, tension's rising again. Old grudges wake up, and suddenly we're right back where it all started. But there's another layer to this, something serious. Both Thug and Lucci are still on probation or under some kind of supervised release, meaning they're walking a tight line right now. They can't afford any drama. If violence sparks up and even looks like it's connected to them or their crews, they could be headed straight back behind bars. So no matter how real or fake the piece is, they got every reason to keep things calm, at least in public. It's survival mode now. One wrong move, one wrong headline, and everything they fought to get back could be gone again in a flash. But what about people like Woody, the ones who aren't on paper, who got nothing holding them back, who feel betrayed by the ones they once followed? That's the wild card, fam. That's what makes this whole situation unpredictable and potentially dangerous. When emotions mix with street pride, anything can happen, and it don't take much to set things off again.
These niggas on the internet, and they be trying to be gangster. They be trying to be tough. These niggas didn't fight that war with me. These niggas didn't fight that war with me. Nigga, somebody go get hurt. Somebody go get hurt. And y'all people on the internet is starting this stuff.
At the end of the day, this whole mess between Lil Woody, Young Thug, and YFN Lucci is showing us something deep about the culture we live in. Peace sounds beautiful, but living it out, that's complicated. Forgiveness is powerful, but it's painful. Moving on is smart, but it don't erase the past. Woody's not just venting, he's asking real questions that cut straight to the heart of it all. How do you make peace when so many people already paid the ultimate price? How do you tell someone to just move on when they've lost brothers, friends, and years of that life fighting a war that the bosses now act like never happened? Those are questions the streets can't ignore anymore. You gotta ask yourself, how you expect the soldiers to stay cool when the generals suddenly switch up the whole game plan? These ain't easy questions, and there sure ain't any easy answers. But one thing's for certain, the culture needs more real conversations like this. We can't keep pretending these beefs are just music drama when real people end up caught in the crossfire. We need to talk about the truth, the pain, the losses, the broken families, and finally start valuing peace for what it really means. But peace don't hit right unless we also acknowledge everything that came before it, the trauma, the history, and the lives changed forever. As for Young Thug and YFN Lucci, I truly hope they've grown from all this. I hope the time, the pain, and the losses taught them something deep. I hope they're serious about ending the cycle once and for all, and using their power and influence to guide the next generation away from making the same deadly mistakes. That's where the real change starts. For Lil Woody, I truly hope he finds his own peace, because you can tell he's carrying a heavy load. All that pain, all that anger from what he allegedly went through is still sitting on his shoulders. He's frustrated with how everything played out, torn between loyalty and disappointment, and trying to figure out where respect even fits into it all. He deserves a chance to heal too, even if his path looks completely different from Thug and Lucci's. Healing don't look the same for everybody. And for everyone tuning in to this story, don't forget, these are real lives we're talking about, real consequences, real heartbreak, real people trying to survive what they've lived through. This ain't just some entertainment piece for YouTube clicks or social media gossip. Behind every headline is somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's friend. Now the streets are watching closely, waiting to see what's next. Is this really the end of the YSL and YFN beef? Or is Lil Woody about to spark something that everyone thought was long dead? Only time's gonna tell, fam. Let's just hope peace wins this round. So what do you think, fam? Do you think Lil Woody was right for calling out the so-called peace treaty? Or should he just let Thug and Lucci move forward and live their lives? Is this beef really finished? Or are we just seeing the calm before another storm hits the streets? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think. Smash that like button if you made it this far. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. Stay safe out there, keep your head up, and remember, real recognize real, but real also knows when it's time to let go. Peace.